Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Blaster Master Zero. In the last part, we ended the game, sort of, and now it's time for the actual ending. Welcome to Area 9. What is this place? I emerged from the wormhole and into this strange space that seemed to be an amalgamation of a bunch of different things. Am I still on Earth, or somewhere completely different? Regardless of where I've ended up, I need to look for even Sophia. Area 9 is a bit of an odd place in that we get a completely different way to play the game thanks to the Sophia ZERO here. The best way to describe the Sophia ZERO is that it's the Sophia 3 if it was turned up to 12. Any of its standard shots are the equivalent of a charge shot with any of the actual charge abilities, though they still take SP. And for this matter, the Buster Cannon shot, the one that's a giant tank pellet's the best one just because you get so much coverage. And all your sub-weapons also get secondary effects. For instance, the standard 3-missile volley is now a 5-missile volley. The homing missile can now be fired multiple times before it takes up 1 bit of SP. The shield is now one that travels with you. The electric beam now spreads in many more directions. And, oh crap, what's the last sub-weapon? I'm forgetting one. I'll see it eventually. This thing is absurd. And in fact, there's actually a mode you get to be that was added to the game at some point or another that actually allows you to play as this throughout the rest of the game. But I'll talk more about that later. For now, would you believe it? It's a boss rush time. The entire reason we're venturing around Area 9, what we have to do in it is find 3 keys, 4 through 6, that will open up, or is it 3 through 5? Either way, that will open up shutters towards the end of the area. And each of the dungeons that contains one of those keys, you have to refight some of the bosses from throughout the game. But not just the end of area boss fights, but also some of the mini-bosses. I'm going to be fast-forwarding them like it's a standard Mega Man boss rush. But otherwise, it's fairly simple, and wow, skeleton boss, yeah, this Sophia ZERO doesn't screw around. Also, now remember, the last sub-weapon is the Sonic Dash thing. That's probably the one that changes the least. I think it sends you further, but that's about it. Area 9 is not hard. It's more or less just a lot of the same stuff. Though there is one boss that's technically unique, I'll talk more about that in a moment. The main gimmick with Area 9, beyond getting the keys, is that from this room onwards especially, you're basically in sort of a weird anti-gravity space that acts as water for the Sophia and for Jason. And in later rooms, you're going to be able to switch between this and not having it, just depending on what the background is. If it's purpley spacey like this, you got it. If it's not, it's not. But I'm going out of my way right now for something you don't have to get at all for 100%, because Area 9 also does have a map we need to go get. And to do that, we head through here, and we have to go through this entire room just as Jason, which seems threatening because there's a skeleton boss here, but no, you can just walk past it and come up here. And interestingly, there is going to be a unique boss fight during this next boss rush. I'm still fast-forwarding it because it's nothing new technically, but it is at the same time. It's Mother Brains. You fight 2 of the boss from the main dungeon in Area 1. It's nothing too hard. In fact, a good remote blast placement can hit both at once, making the fight even that much more quick. But you still should watch out because that's the rare boss fight where there's more than one target like that. And now after I get the map in the next screen, I'm actually going to be backtracking to the Sophia ZERO off screen just because this is already a longer part and I wanted to make sure it wasn't a half hour long, and thankfully it didn't end up being so. Also, the theme I'm using for the boss rushes is Trap Phantasm, the Prometheus and Pandora battle theme from Mega Man ZX Advent. But in particular, it is the ZX Advent Tunes version, which was a sort of remastered track CD release, I think in Japan only for a while. Think of it as the 20th anniversary Mega Man rock and techno albums just for the ZX Advent soundtrack. It's a really good song. Also, Homing Missile is just absolutely busted now. Where in the world am I? Fred's wormhole brought me here, though, so that means there's no doubt that even Sophia must be here somewhere. Keep it together. I know I'm gonna find even Sophia. Now, just make sure I didn't overlook anything. That's them basically saying, yo, make sure you backtrack at least once here, because they are kind of sneaky about putting where the first key I got was behind the start. Area 9, though, I think is a very good reward for getting 100% because this is a very unique feeling area, and the true ending that we're going to get, I feel, is much more interesting than the normal ending and even the original game's ending. Which, you know, interesting considering that the original ending was kind of changed to begin with. Yeah, I don't think that's something... I briefly mentioned it earlier, that the whole Fred plot was added to the original American Blaster Master, but something I also forgot to mention is that they also changed the ending just to add Fred so he'd be there, which I find that attention to detail just adorable. Though they forgot to change Jason's hair from blue to black, because that's what it is in Blaster Master and not Meta Fight. We're coming up on probably the hardest jump in Area 9, and it's hard for the same reason the jump at the end of Area 4 entering Area 5 is hard. We need to swim as Jason to the top of this little swimming section, and then jump out and grab that ladder when we're right on top of it. Blaster Master Zero 2 would take that and make an entire planetoid out of it, and I hate it. I mean, Blaster Master Zero 2 is overall the better game, but that planetoid and the equivalent to Area 9 in it are just annoying. Either way, with that, we have the 3 keys we need, so we can now head on to the true final boss. Also, I really like Area 9's theme, even though it's very minimalist, I want to say. It's got a nice spacey theme going on. And I like it. I will admit, though, it took me a bit longer to find the entrance to get to the true final boss than I'd like to admit on my first playthrough, because I actually didn't get the map here on my first run. Because, I'll be real, I didn't see the door to get to the door where we got the map. I just wasn't exploring enough. Oh, also, in between parts, I actually figured out what the co-op for this game is. Essentially, one person controls Jason as he is, of course. And the other person controls a targeting reticle representing the Sophia, and I'm assuming Eve and Fred within it. So the Sophia actually does have a battle purpose beyond the remote blast if you're playing co-op. I've never still played it, but it sounds like it could be fun. I imagine it allows for some shortcuts in certain regards. There are 3 extra modes I haven't exactly talked about, though I have hinted at before, but I'm going to talk about those more so during the credits, just because that's the best time to talk about it. And wait, what the hell is this purple thing? And wait, why does it look like it's a Sophia? Okay, yeah, enter the tank cannon. So, taking a bit of a note out of Heat Genblum's stage from Mega Man 04, occasionally the siren will blast in here because there's a giant laser coming your direct face direction. That was a bad way to say you're gonna get hit by energy. Take your time, and if you see a red siren flash, just hide in the nearest ditch until it passes by you. Otherwise, you're just gonna take a hit that you really have no reason to take. At the end of this hallway, though, lies the energy meter, and we need to take it out. For my bet, the best way to do so is either with the weapon I was already using or just spam the standard charge shots new version of the Sophia ZERO because it has extraordinarily high rapid fire. And with that, we've reached the final top-down section. This is more so just a long hallway with only a couple of enemies. And even then, it's mostly just the weird little trapper enemies that will try to run into you if you get perpendicular with them. Of course, if you know they're there and where to stand, you can just take care of them all with a couple of lightning shots. Love this song, though. This is really good. There's a reason this area is laid out like this, but we'll find out more about that when we talk about that in a couple minutes. I just recommend destroying a couple of these sets of bricks to make your time a bit easier in the near future. With that, let's find out what lies at the end of this place. Final checkpoint. Oh. Sophia? Oh no, don't tell me a mutant hijacked it! Eve, are you there? Please answer me! Jason, is that you? Why are you here? Don't come any closer. What? Eve, that's... I'm so sorry. After all you did for me. In the end, I wasn't able to protect you or anyone else. There's no way to stop the core now. Please, Jason, destroy Sophia and me. What? There's no way I could do something like that. I won't let you die. It has completely taken over Sophia. We can't take it back. I don't want to see Sophia destroy this planet. So please, destroy us. Eve! Eve! Damn it! What am I gonna do? Boss fight against the Sophia. Or I suppose the Invem Sophia, technically. Place you need to hit is the giant eye on top. So let's just have the Sophia ZERO take a giant shot at it, and that did not do much at all. This fight is somewhat scripted. It'll fire a couple of volleys of its normal shot at you, and later on it'll start targeting what I'm assuming is supposed to be the charged Celestial attack at a couple points on the screen. The explosion takes up about half the screen, so you need to make sure you're on the opposite third and just as far away as you can during this portion here. When that arrow gets there, run. If I'm recalling correctly, it's either trying to charge into you or use the acceleration blast. I actually can't recall what it does there because I've always run. And at this point, we have a chase sequence. The entire reason this hallway was laid out the way it was is so it could play host to an okay escape sequence here. Memorize the stage design, hopefully to your best effort, and just run. Don't worry about taking hits here. This is the last time we're controlling top-down Jason anyway, so losing any weapon levels here isn't going to be too important in the long run anyway. Just try to get out and survive. I'm not sure what happens if the Sophia gets too close to you. I imagine you just take damage. I don't think there's an instant death occurrence that can happen here, but I'll be frank, it's never happened to me if there is. And here it's just going to roll up and start charging up more of the particular charge shot type. Only this time it outright tries to lock onto you, but it does leave behind the reticle after a while, so just continue walking forward, and again, you should get out with relatively low problems. It let out a huge blast of smoke. I knew what was about to happen next. This was the mutant Eve was referring to as the core. If I deal this thing damage, that should weaken its hold over them bit by bit. I gotta find a way to get Eve out of here, and then destroy Sophia. I can't fail now. It's not an option. This is it. I can do this! It does keep its health for this phase, by the way. Also, fun fact, that particular intro of the Sophia ZERO fleeing from a mechanical facility is a direct reference to the Japanese version of the original Blaster Master, where the intro cutscene wasn't the Sophia fleeing from the cave, but instead emerging from that place. Now, the Sophia uses basically every weapon you have. It'll charge shot across its way, shoot various charge shots, use its sub-weapons to the best of its ability. And this is just really fun pattern recognition, even if it is ultimately very easy, because at this point, you're gonna have 100%. You have a very powerful cannon. This is the only part where you need to be scared, because I think if it gets the acceleration blast off on you, you're dead immediately. So be careful and just get behind it here. And eject and get her the hell out of that thing. Eve, are you alright? She seems to be unconscious, but otherwise unharmed. Now that the core's powers have weakened, I was able to tear off the appendages that were holding Eve captive and lift her out of the cockpit. We gotta hurry back to the Sophia ZERO. All that's left now is to destroy the core. Here we go, Sophia ZERO. I'll be real, I think they actually want you to use the acceleration blast here, but I've never done it. I'm not even sure if there's actually a time limit here or something, so I just mash fire until that's game. What? That's right. I found the core and flipped Sophia's self-destruct switch. But then Sophia got taken over. Possessed. I fought desperately, but there was nothing I could do. I couldn't stop her from taking over everything. I made a choice to protect you and this planet, but in the end, I couldn't do anything. In a cruel twist of fate, Sophia ended up becoming a tool that would be used to destroy the planet. My senses were completely dim, but somehow I heard a voice that there shouldn't have been no way in the world I could hear. Eve, are you there? Please answer me! Jason, is that you? Why are you here? I think my memory circuits are failing. There should be no way that he could be here. Yeah, this is just an illusion. He got so worried that he came here. Don't come any closer. Even if he's just an illusion, I can't let the core take him over. Damn, I can't move anything from my head down. I definitely do not want him to see me like this. I'm so sorry. After all you did for me, in the end, I wasn't able to protect you or anyone else. There's no way to stop the core now. Please, Jason, destroy Sophia and me. What? There's no way I could do something like that. I won't let you die. It has completely taken over Sophia. We can't take it back. I don't want to see Sophia destroy this planet. Although, there's no point in me asking an illusion to do this. But, just in case that really is him. So please, destroy us. Then, all of a sudden, Eve, open your eyes! Eve! I was awakened from my nightmare. Jason? Eve, thank goodness. Why are you here? That wasn't a dream? Huh? I'm not sure what dream you're talking about, but more importantly, are you injured? Does anything feel out of place? The core is destroyed, but I'm worried about what that thing might have done to you. I see. So it wasn't a dream. Don't worry, I'm alright. But how are you able to get here, Jason? It was all thanks to Sophia ZERO and Fred. Ribbit? Sophia ZERO? You mean this machine? To be honest, I don't know much about it either. But Fred can send intel all the way back to your home planet, right? Maybe, just maybe, since they learned about the core from Fred, they used Fred's wormhole to send Sophia ZERO to Earth. They? Eve, there's something I want you to see. Is this some kind of message? Yeah. To our precious daughter, please use this machine to protect them. Kane Gardner and Jennifer Gardner. Oh. Perhaps they sent Sophia ZERO not just to help destroy the core, but also for you, Eve, to help keep you safe. I'm sorry, Jason. Could you please hold me for a bit? Yeah. Thank you. I guess it really is all over now. Yeah, and you were the one that made that happen. I wasn't able to do it by myself. It's because of you I'm here now. You were there for me, supporting me in ways that I'll never be able to fully repay you for, so I need to tell you this, and I'll happily say it 1,000,000 times. Thank you. Thank you so much. She showed me the most beautiful smile I had ever seen. More importantly, though, she looked so happy. This is the smile I always wanted to see from her. A glowing smile, straight from the heart. Eve, I have something I need to tell you, too. No, that's adorable, and also a direct reference to the original game. And also a strange way to consolidate both the Japanese and American lore for the original game. Either way, that's Blaster Master Zero. I absolutely adore this game. I forget exactly where it ranked in my 2017 games, but it definitely was in the top 10. I want to say even top 5, because I made a little graphic a while back. I don't want to go fetch it, because that's like 3 years past in Twitter history, and I don't got the time for that. But if I'm recalling correctly, the top 3 were like this, maybe Breath of the Wild and Persona 5. It was 2017 was a great year for video games. Between faithfully recreating the world of the original game while also completely refining its level design and mechanics, this is the best version of the original Blaster Master you could ever hope to play. I've heard Overdrive on WiiWare was also pretty good, but I've never played that one myself. I'm intending to at some point, don't get me wrong though. With that said, if you're playing along, there's still some more stuff you can do from this point onwards. Upon beating the game this way, you unlock 3 modes as of one of the updates, I think, within 2018. You unlock Unlimited mode, which allows you to play as the Sophia ZERO 100% upgraded from the start of the game. The only thing you need to get at that point is whatever's in the way, more or less. Go beat the bosses of every stage, so on and so forth. I'm gonna put it like this. Any percent for that, which is just fighting the Mutant Lord in Area 8, is about a 9-minute long speed run. Best ending, though, for 100%, still about an hour and a half. You also unlock Destroyer mode, which is the hard mode for the game. Certain sub-weapons are completely unavailable, you can't get health ups or the little guard for your weapon meter. It's sort of like if you're playing the original Blaster Master with the Zero mechanics. Then there's Boss Rush mode, or Boss Blaster as it is. You just fight every boss in a row, just straight up. It's fun, but nothing too special. There's a lot to do in this game, a lot of playstyles you could do, and while yeah, the main game doesn't change too much all the same, it's still a super solid action platformer top-down shooter that is truthfully evolved from its original NES game. With that said, it is on the easy side. Because it's one of those games where, yeah, the mechanics are really fun, but they're so advanced and in your favor because of it. Now, there's not really much that presents a challenge. Destroyer mode is that challenge for some people. I'm just not a fan of it because I like getting the big numbers and getting all the stuff. I'll eventually get to Blaster Master Zero 2, but I have other Inti Creates games I'd like to get to next, namely Gunvolt at some point, probably. And as for what's up next, looks at my list that I've had for years. I can see a couple things. You'll see what's up next all the same. I heavily recommend this game. If you want to play it, it's on Switch, 3DS. I think it's on PS4 and Xbox One, but don't quote me on that. Just look at the playlists. Because I always list what these systems are on there. And, of course, Steam. And the Steam version is very stable. Though I will say I think the Switch version was more fun for me because of not only the portability, but also because the smart vibration really did make the game feel that more impactful on me when I was doing an action stage. It's just overall a solid game, though, that I could recommend on any of the consoles it's on. Blaster Master Zero 2 is that even more so, even with its own little quirks and annoyances. But it's overall, this is a fantastic series. And from here, thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Take care. And I'll see you guys next Let's Play, whatever that may be. See you guys then.